In this video, we'll see an introduction to VBA. This is specially used in Microsoft Office products like Excel, Word, PowerPoint and all. What is VBA? VBA stands for Visual Basic for Applications. It helps to record routine tasks. In other words, it is possible to use VBA to create macros. User can record macros with Macro Recorder. The Macro Recorder is simple and easier to use. It allows performing direct tasks, but not complicated. Therefore, we can use VBA to expand the usual functionalities and to create advanced programs. What is macro? Macro is a collection of commands that runs on an Excel environment. It can execute that command with a single click. Macros help to automate routine tasks. In other words, macro is a computer program that provides automated instructions to the computer. Therefore, the user can execute the same tasks again and again. Moreover, it can be recorded and replayed from a specific entry point. Therefore, it is possible to repeat a macro multiple times as required by replaying the macro. What is the difference between VBA and macro? VBA is a programming language for developing automated tasks for Excel and other Microsoft Office programs like Word and PowerPoint, while macros is a collection of commands that is used to replace a repetitive series of keyboard and mouse actions in an application such as Excel. Thus, this explains the main difference between VBA and macros. Now, what is the difference between VBA, VB and VBS? VB, that is Visual Basic, and VBA, that is Visual Basic for Applications, for nearly all programming purposes are the same language. They are both derived from the same original programming language called BASIC. VBA, however, works within a host application like Word or Excel. It cannot work independently like VB can. VBA is written in VBE, that is Visual Basic Editor, in the Microsoft Office environment like Word, Excel, PowerPoint and so on. You can get to this editor by pressing Alt F11 on the keyboard. VB, on the other hand, is written in Visual Studio. You can either use VB 6.0, which is very similar in syntax to VBA, or VB.NET, which is more updated and created to run with the .NET framework that the latest software programs on computers use. Visual Basic can compile an independent executable file, whereas VBA forms and modules cannot. They require their host application in order to run. On the other hand, VBS, that is Visual Basic Script, is a scripting language that was modeled on VB and originally designed to add programming ability to websites. However, nowadays it is used more by Windows-based server administrators to monitor tasks on computers. You can create a VBS file which can run as an exe file. A VBS file can also be called to run from within a VBA code. Now let's understand about Excel Object Model. Now what exactly Excel Object Model means? What exactly is the hierarchy of the objects in Excel? The very first object is an application. This can be any application like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But in this example, let us consider this to be Excel. The object model closely follows the user interface. The application object represents the entire application, and inside Excel there can be multiple workbook objects, and inside each workbook it can contain a collection of worksheet objects, and within each worksheet object there can be multiple shapes, charts, controls, and major abstraction that represents cells is the range object, which enables you to work with individual cells or group of cells. Suppose you want to refer any shape, then we'll first have to call the application, then workbook, then worksheet, and then that shape. Independently, we directly cannot call the shape. So, I hope you got an idea of VBA, macro and difference between them, difference between VB, VBA and VBS, and how Excel Object Model works. So that's all for this video. If you found this video useful, please like and share with your friends. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, do it right now and press the bell icon besides the subscribe button so that you don't miss on any new videos that I upload. Thanks for watching.